have a new grift for you, because I know you're looking for a job.
Okay.
And you want to be an economist.
Okay.
And I thought of the perfect opportunity. Is if you just became like the Thomas Sowell of Germany, and then just said like, and have all these like hard right economics, and all the Germans would be like, see, even the Greeks say we should have austerity on the Greeks. You have to do it. And you would just make millions.
Oh, no, you'd be the Candace Owens for like terrible austerity politics. I'm a Greek and I love it. Punish me, Zadie.
No.
You and the cop bay, the German cop bay, what's her name? Tanya Kamburi would go around together and do tours.
Can I, who would be my hot take interviews then for Germany then? Like I interview like Frauke Petri or like,
You're recording?
Yeah, I'm recording, of course I am, because we're, otherwise we're not going to get started.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. There's a lot of cabinet to go through.
Are you read the entire fucking thing?
What if you do it? What if you organize it into shag, marry, kills for each of us?
Command F on all of their Wikipedia pages.
Well, if you want to talk about pedophilia,
no, no one wants to do that. I mean, that's part of the problem, but no one wants to talk about that. Why do I feel like Liz Truss is bad?
Prince Andrew was on the flight logs.
It's because she looks a bit like a
Prince Andrew.
Oh, damn.
Doctor Who
sorry,
villain.
UK's cancelled.
Prince Andrew.
Wow, the royal family is
Is
cancelled.
Prince Andrew the one? Oh, hang on. I think he's the one who everyone thought he was gay because he had shady sexual past.
He still has a...
If by a shady sexual past, you mean probably
shady...
like raping teenage girls with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, because I think in the past
allegedly,
people were like, he could never admit he was gay. That's got to be it, rather than like abusing children.
Yeah.
It's really always good to start the podcast with pedophilia.
I love when British conservative society is really accepting of gay people, but only as a front to cover up for pedophiles.
Yeah.
Oh, good priorities. Liz Truss worked for Shell, so
is it good if there's lots of audio of me choking down a cold one? Because it lets everyone know that you've got cool guests.
That's good ASMR.
Cool pod.
Yeah.
Drinking beer.
This actually is what this podcast is. It's just,
hi,
welcome to Corner Späti.
Don't do that. I hate it so much. Oh my god, I want to shoot.
It's just us eating.
I want to shoot everyone who does like ASMR.
Whoa.
Don't look at me.
So this is a recurring theme of the podcast where like Yulia just goes full authoritarian Nazbol, where she's like, yeah, I'd kill all the lower races for Sparkle. Time for re-education camps.
Okay, actually, as a first time listener and first time guest, what are your roles in the gang, each of you?
I'm the bad one.
As in the bad boy, or you're just bad at your job?
You can decide at the end of the episode.
You're wearing a backwards cap, also otherwise dressed like Dennis the Menace. So I have to assume you're the bad boy of the group. Yulia,
Token girl.
I was gonna say, are you the girl one?
You know that famous role in the boy band, the girl.
That famous personality.
My parents straight up told me growing up, like, yeah, you're the girl one. That's your role. And interestingly, it's had no negative effects on me as a person. Kieran, you're the nerd.
Stop reading me so well.
Rob, what's your role?
I don't know.
Bad boy and nerd and girl are all gone.
Rob's the sexy one who's also like.
Are you the Timberlake?
Yeah.
No.
He's gonna break
I can't
away.
wait.
Definitely.
Rob's career is
solo.
gonna be the only one that then survives.
Yeah.
Well, what I
There's
want
an
to
entire
say,
generation of women masturbating to the phrase "dirty pop."
we do like to clown on each other here, so I'll like set them up and I'll be like, Nick, what's the what country has Skopje as its capital? And then he has to say Macedonia, and I'm like, owned. You admitted Macedonia is an independent country. And then I'll be like, Kieran, watch these 2,000 TikTok videos. And then he does, and I'm like, say the first word of each of them, and it just recites an Economist article about why colonialism was good for Ireland. Like, just fun games that we,
cool pranks on
stuff
set.
we do on each other.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's a good time here at the Corner Späti.
This is actually that new Netflix show where they prank unemployed people into thinking they're getting jobs.
Is that a real show?
Yeah, the kid from Stranger Things is
Oh.
going to be doing it.
Oh, cool!
Speaking of CIA ops, Stranger Things.
Oh, that's terrible.
Nationalize punked.
Um,
That's Kieran's strategy.
The only way a show on Netflix would get more than 2 seasons is if the CIA is paying for it. Have you guys seen that? The Netflix's strategy is just like, it's diminishing returns after 2 seasons, so just cancel it.
Yeah, and then we make because they're just like no one signs up for Netflix when we advertise the 3rd season of a show. We have to constantly advertise new shows because no one wants to be advertised to about the 3rd season of a show.
Yeah, there's a metaphor in here somewhere, but
I mean, I feel that like the last Stranger Things. I think we talked about that like last week. That's just
We
like
didn't
the most
even finish it. I didn't.
because I don't care about it. I don't want to.
There was a lot of anti-communism.
A lot of
it's all the epic
anti-communism.
I
lines
hated
where they put
it.
down
Is it because it's
communism.
being in the 80s?
No, it's just like there's like an 8-year-old kid who's just like,
Yeah.
let me tell you something about how much I love capitalism.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It's like Erica, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And then it's just like the 8-year-old like capitalism is free market, so it's like just coming around the screen. It's just like no.
She should have stayed in
What a
the
time to
in
advertise
the thing with the
capitalism.
Russians.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is that she's
Going to
like
be
a young
re-educated.
black woman is like the intersection of the most disenfranchised people in this system.
Well, actually, that kind of works with the 80s, though. We had Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, that was 90s shit, but whatever.
Early 90s, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but it makes sense, like all the neoliberalism and shit. She really.
Oh yeah, the most neoliberal
Yeah.
comedy show thing that I've ever seen in my
Prince of
entire life.
Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air by far.
Yeah.
Have you rewatched it like recently?
I know it pretty well, but let me hear your take.
Okay,
Well-
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Should
Well,
I?
There's that one episode that really stuck out in all of the
It's just
shit. It was
ingrained in
it was-
Julia's memory now.
Yeah, it was when they this childhood friend, whatever, teenage college friend of what's his name, Uncle Phil and his wife. Oh shit, what's her name? Sorry.
Doesn't matter. Vivian, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Vivian.
And
Yeah.
and so this childhood college friend
Remember
takes,
her name.
Yeah, remember. It's not only Uncle Phil's wife.
Hang on. Uncle Phil is Vivian's husband.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
Well,
No,
even the show just
Vivian
changed
and
her halfway through the series and didn't say
knowing
anything.
Vivian's name is feminism.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ignoring the fact that she was replaced for going through like postpartum depression halfway through the show.
Yeah.
I
two
it
seasons
felt
in.
I remember actually no I'm not qualified to talk about this, but I found that like
to
they
the
felt
podcast.
like a weird colorist choice as well, the fact that she's replaced by from a dark skinned woman to a light
to a
skinned
light skin. Yeah.
The episode, Julia.
So, yeah. So
Sorry.
this college friend of Vivian and her husband. Sorry. Felt very empowered here.
the new show the show is actually called Vivian and her husband.
Vivian and her bitch ass nephew.
More like the Fresh Queen of Bel-Air, am I right?
I'm alright.
Yes.
So they have this college friend, and they all were together in the like civil rights movement in the 60s, and then she takes refuge at their home because she's in trouble.
She's cool.
Because she's still
cool.
She's
She
still
takes
Black
refuge
radical.
because she's cool.
Yeah, she's still
Yeah.
radical. And then they sit down and talk to her, or I don't know to whom, but they talk to someone, and they say, "Yeah, you believe that we're not as black as you are, and we don't believe in this, blah blah blah. But you gotta grow up, you gotta make money, you gotta like see we are now see what is he, a judge? No, later
He's
a
a lawyer.
judge.
Yeah,
lawyer.
and then
He-
becomes a judge.
Later
Yeah.
he becomes a judge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta make a career, you gotta make a living in this world, blah blah blah. Look at us, we are like, I don't know,
Successful.
successful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rich.
Yeah.
that was kind of
The neoliberal subreddit does routinely post the like speech Carlton makes to the revolutionary black fraternity in the college they go to.
yeah.
It's weird. Also,
Yeah,
you
'cause
wanna-
that's,
hang on.
that's supposed to be like a thing that then like, oh, look at like Carlton, standing up for himself and this and then that. But then when you watch it now and, as a cool, leftist, you're just like, let's say Karl Marx. Karl Marx said about Fresh Prince.
Carlton Marx as he was doing the dance.
Yeah, no, as like Carlton's giving that speech and at the same time it's like, yo, like the frats, right? Like I never thought that those words would come out of my mouth, but they're cool because they shit on him because he's a bougie little pig.
Oh yeah, hell
And
yeah.
he should not be allowed in their club.
Yeah.
And-
Just want to say it's shocking that the R neoliberal subreddit would identify most with Carlton. Just would never expect that. What do they, that is just
Also, this is desperately unrelated, but one of the cabinet ministers in the Boris Johnson government has the last name Shapps. Shapps.
He's called Grant Shapps.
Grant Shapps. New Minister of Transport.
Oh, that's it. Did you see that thing about lacrosse players' names in America? No, look up like US. I think it was because someone compared US lacrosse team players' names with like comedy parodies of newscaster names called like Turnton Flaunton or like
Turton Flirsion.
That's the comedy Swedish lacrosse player names. Damn it! No, it's just called like, hey, it's Buck Juckley, like that kind of name.
That kind of sounds like
Yes.
reminds me of
That'll be it.
The fake baseball names?
The fake baseball names that the Japanese game industry had to make up.
Oh, yeah. Shackleford Stanwyck, Quinn Commandant, Declan Smartwood.
Oh, hang on. You're missing some important parts here. It's Shackleford Stanwyck Senior.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ivy Stucker Senior.
Yeah.
Holden Rosengrupp Senior.
Tufts.
These are like if baseball player names were bourgeois.
But I know these are American names, like people
Dallas
living in the
Creamer
United States of America.
Jr.
Dallas
Yeah,
Creamer.
That sounds
I don't-
very English.
These are very English because like baseball players have the dumbest fucking names, and like it just sounds like someone like just took two sounds and put them together.
You mean
Guy
like Joe Buck?
Dupree Senior.
Joe Buck.
Or like Mookie Betts.
Oh, Mookie Betts. He's cute though.
Mookie's cool.
Mookie Betts is fucking cool, but like Pokey Reese from he used to play for the Reds.
That's cute.
Yeah, but they just have like these ridiculous names that just sound like someone just like went through a dictionary or like just like what's that thing, like a program that would just like make a name for you, but a name that like isn't quite right, and that's like half of the MLB right there.
Is the reasoning that if you give your child a ridiculous name, they have to become famous? Otherwise, they'll just be like an accountant with a
There
stupid
literally
name?
is a kid who's like 15 who's like probably going to be drafted out of high school whose like parents literally gave him a name for that reason.
What's
His
his
name
name?
is his name is like Blitz or Bust or something like that.
Oh, Jesus. Like, Blitz open group reviewer.
Every time he hits a home run, another big bust.
But I knew a kid in high
Busting
school,
ropers.
Oh wait, what?
and his name was Hagen Hagemeyer.
What?
And I don't think they named him to become famous.
That's the fucking richest guy in Iceland. Bjogulforsen.
Hagen Hagemeyer.
Because his great grandfather brought industrial capitalism to the country of Iceland.
Oh,
so
yeah, that
every
guy.
son has to be called Bjogulfjord because we're not giving up this name.
We stand a
Also,
king.
Grand Shap's Wikipedia page is organized into two sections. One is called political career. The next one is called other issues. Which I love. I haven't read enough about Grant Shapps, who looks like when he was photographed, he wasn't expecting it.
He's got the kind of like sexy open mouth kind of thing going.
And it's another week of the Corner Späti. I guess everything we did up until now was the cold open. Fucking hell. That's a long cold open, folks.
The microwave just dinged. We are ready.
We are ready
We are
to
warm.
talk about, I guess, mostly the UK. We've got like a pretty full gang. We've got all the Corner Späti boys. We've got me, Kieran, whose hot take of the week is Korean YouTube reaction videos have gone downhill since the copyright thing has changed with the YouTube algorithm. It's not as good anymore. They used to react to Moroccan music videos. Now they just try American candy. It's not fun. We've also got Nick here with us.
Hi. I got nothing to say. I have not been, traversing the Korean YouTube.
Missing out, man.
Just regular YouTube, listening to those mixes of Alex Jones over deathcore. Really enjoying those.
Quality.
Yeah.
We're also here with Yulia.
Yeah, I'm in an existential crisis right now because I'm not the only girl on the podcast today.
Stop spoiling things. We'll get to that in a second.
Also, not the Späti boys. We need a more inclusive. The
I like the Späti
Spätinnen.
boys.
Späti boys.
Die
Slash
Spätinnen.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Okay. And
Späti boys and
also Rob is with us.
Yeah, I said all my funny bits in the cold open.
Shit.
So hi.
And we have a special guest of a fucking local Berlin comedy fame. You may recognize her from the host of Sauce, the only fucking decent comedy show in this godforsaken town. It's Josephine Parkinson.
What? Hey, why have you Josephined me?
I'm
why did
sorry.
you dead name me
Oh, did I
on
dead
your
name you?
podcast? Josephine is the name that I reserve for speaking to Frenchmen and,
I'm a news
and confused Europeans of all kinds.
Well, then we're in that second category right now.
I'm very confused.
Yeah. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Josie.
How's it going? Gonna have a
Awesome.
girl chat inside the podcast.
Oh yeah. Let's just like exclude the guys.
Did you guys catch the game last week?
Hang on. I've been silenced in the podcast. Oh man, is sexism bad? Shit. Oh,
That's
now
how that feels, huh?
Now that it's happened to me, I can now sympathize. The only way I ever could.
Kieran is now an ally.
You're a husband of wife.
Damn, yo, I found out this thing called misogyny. It fucking sucks, man.
Oh man, you ever hear about the patriarchy? That shit is sus.
Yeah.
Explain it to me, please.
Yo,
Well,
Julia.
Oh, fucking hell. But before we get into our main topic, which is, I guess, the UK,
Boo.
and we're now a Grant Shapps podcast, because this guy has a lengthy Wikipedia.
I'm a chaps, man.
It's the
Shaps.
it's the is it
Shaps,
the
man.
Shapso Trap House.
Oh,
I know a podcast name.
I genuinely would listen to that. Anyway, it's time for the Megarika competition.
That wouldn't be nearly as
Mega
interesting, though,
Rica.
because there's be a British dude being racist, and that's like, you know.
Well, it feels like
It's
very,
novel and cute.
It feels like very Farage Against the Machine kind of thing, where he's genuinely a fan of Chapo Trap House, but he doesn't understand what's happening within it at all.
What
think-
makes me really sad about the Farage Against the Machine thing is that I can imagine being the intern who came up with that name and being like proud of it in the instant and thinking I've unleashed something horrible upon the world.
And
I'm
then
just-
Farage would hit on you, probably.
I'm just imagining then him, Mr.
He likes them young.
What's his last name? What's his last name?
Shaps.
Chaps.
Shaps.
Chaps.
With an SH.
Shaps Dandley.
Chaps.
Grant Shaps. You can see why I'm fixated with this man.
Yeah, I can. I just imagine him though. Then like not understanding like the racism factory meme, just being like, oh well, I really hope the workers in the racism factory are doing well.
Imagine having a baby and raising him up to the light and being like, he's going to be known as Grant Shapps.
Are we too British?
The things he'll do. I think if I was a teenager, I would not need much convincing to go out with someone called Grant, because that's a very confident name to have until you're about like 45.
The less syllables you have in your name, the more confident you are.
Yeah.
This is why Nick and Rob just like are so confident
Dominate.
in their beliefs, and I'm just like, I'm Kieran, I'm half as confident as they are.
Wait, the less syllables or the more syllables?
The less syllables, the more confident.
Well, then I should be the least confident person because my full name is like 1 billion syllables. So,
What's your full name?
not telling you.
We'll dox him right now.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that I'm the only person with this name, so doxing me is incredibly
true.
easy.
I'm the only
you
one
cool?
with Kieran Jolt, and I'm just leading into it.
There are a ton of
But
people
you
with my
also
name. I
have
looked it up. Like you can. There's tons of like funny. They're like. Actually, I think a pedophile. There's at least one of them.
Back to pedophiles.
I feel like Rob's going through like when you're a hammer, all problems look like a nail type situation. You've just broken your brain on pedophilia conspiracy.
I feel as though especially because of where you're sat, it's like we're going to go to pedophile corner with Rob.
That's why I'm always over here.
Pedophile is the European way of pronouncing it. It's my accent. It's my emigre
I do that
accent.
whenever I fuck up speaking as well. Oh, no, that's just Irish. That's just yeah. Megarika competition.
Oh, I'm not allowed to look at your laptop.
Yeah, no one's allowed to look at the laptop. Everyone, fuck off.
You
All right.
just-
For the people listening at
You can look
home
at
who
me.
aren't familiar with Megarika, Megarika is the competition. Megarika is the competition where I tell everyone else here the net worth, 3 facts, and why they're rich of one of Europe's just insanely wealthy people. And they have to guess who it is or where they're from based on these facts. Josie, you will get the first guess when it's all done because you were the guest.
And Cool.
And cool, yes. That's why you're a guest.
I mean, that's cool.
I'll give you a tip since you're new here. The reason why they're rich every time is because they worked hard.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
I'll
that's
save
so
you.
nice.
I'll save you the
They're
trouble.
just
Yeah,
good people in general.
they're really inspiring. You know.
That's so nice. It'll really inspire me to work harder at the call center where I work.
Well, if you got a second job at the racism factory, that's why the UK is leaving the EU. They can bring back racism industry that the EU won't let them have.
That's my understanding of
They hated export. No.
We've got all these slurs for Spanish
Outsourcing
people that
racism.
no one wants to buy.
Okay, let's do the quiz. I want to
right.
guess a name.
All right.
You don't have to guess the name, but I want you to guess the name.
I know. I think.
Okay, I think
Grant
his name
Shapps.
is.
Of the Shapps family. I think Nick is the only one who ever did like a name. You guessed Ferrero from Italy.
Rocher?
Yeah.
I knew.
Literally, that's why it's called that.
Whoa.
Yeah,
tasty.
Michele Ferrero. He just named.
Do you have a jingle to lead into Megarica?
You can.
Yeah.
you
I
can
think
make
we're about
right
to get
now.
one.
Yes, please.
Margarita, yeah.
I was going do Megarica.
Nice.
Your one was good too.
All right. I'm commanding the attention.
I hate my little chair. I can't. I hate my little small
It's
little.
not a-
It's horrible. I have a
It's a big
small
chair.
little.
It's a big
I
chair.
feel like I'm far away from the cool kids.
This
Come on,
is a
it's
casual
interesting.
episode, gang.
My
I
little,
find that
little
very
thingy-
interesting. Normally, you don't have a problem with sitting over there, and now,
But now you guys are funny.
that's just because beer.
All right. We're doing Megarica.
Do Megarica.
Thank you.
I love it.
Net worth.
Usurp your pot.
Net worth. $15.5 billion US.
Is that a lot?
That is a lot. Yeah.
This guy is.
Yulia's going through her fucking rapper money she has. Just like Yulia pulls out like $50K just like in rubber bands, stacking it on the table.
She's
Damn,
looking-
is that a lot of money? I don't fucking know.
Are you going to put in sound effects afterwards going like cha-ching and that's a lot of moolah, or do we have to do
Is
it?
it a US morning radio show?
Where am I?
Toilet flush.
You
all right.
getting exploited. I'm getting rich.
Yeah, that's just, but no, like seriously, because I've been watching the, and maybe Rob has been doing the same thing too. I've been watching the double XL ciphers, and the baby just pulls out $50K during the cipher.
Yeah, I know. I've watched it. I've
So
seen it.
fucking
Yeah.
Okay.
Next stat.
Why are they rich? Privatized
Capitalism.
13 billion euros worth of farms and now has a massive holding company.
Nice.
Yeah. Fact number 1, or anecdote. I don't know how to call these things. He found tidbits. Yeah. He founded his massive holdings and investment company in 1991 after a storied history in importing photocopiers and working in the national film industry.
This is Eastern Europe,
That
ain't it, baby?
sounds like Eastern Europe.
The company is now active in 19 countries in Europe and Asia, including here in Germany, where his company is a part of a consortium of roughly 10 huge companies that profit from tolls on public roads, to the tune of about $1 billion a year. He is a massive beneficiary of Sweden and Germany's attempt to become green nations. State-owned energy companies have been selling off mining sites and assets, which this Megarica has been buying up and still using.
Okay.
His company is responsible for 37.9 billion euro worth of assets he single-handedly privatized in his home country. But don't worry, they give back to the country, sponsoring the arts and theater, which is coincidentally 100% tax deductible.
I just trying to imagine what bad art that is. Like the painting I posted of the sexy pig woman is like this is the kind of art that they're producing.
I just
For-
imagine it being
for
like
Germany.
that episode where Squidward puts on like a culture evening at the Krusty Krab.
Fact number 2.
Oh, is that just the first fact?
That's just the
Yeah.
first fact.
Keep it.
These,
gives you
these aren't
these, like-
snappy facts.
No, they're very long and like.
But this is good
That's
for me.
good.
I
You
don't
get-
know anything, and I'm going to learn something about someone I've never heard of.
It's good value.
Good.
Yeah.
You will remember.
Oh man, this potato glute. For the listeners. Potato gloop is here.
Yeah, potato gloop, or the unofficial name Skolia is good, and everyone should try it.
We're trying to do some ASMR here.
Oh, please don't.
Fact
Freaks
number.
me out.
For fuck's sake. Oh, it's a casual episode. I just love last episode we had people talking about some serious shit.
Yeah.
Today
Well, now
we're
it's
eating.
casual
Today we're
Friday.
eating potato gloop and
Talking about
making-
shaps.
talking about-
Friday night, I'm an expert in nothing.
Yeah.
Fact.
Come on, keep going. Kira.
Okay. Number 2. Fact tidbit number 2. He uses corporate tactics to launder money and not pay his taxes. These tactics all have fun.
When you spill tzatziki on yourself, just grab a piece of bread
And wipe it off.
I'm a man's man.
I'm not like the other girls. I covered myself in Greek food.
Tzatziki.
Oh
Oh
god.
my god.
I imagine this being like a very common problem in Greece.
Those girls with the tzatziki all over them.
It's people spitting tzatziki.
In the 70s, and
Not the economy.
there's like one man in like a Greek bar somewhere who just like stares off into the middle distance. Because like one time in the 70s, he was approached with the deal of the century of being like the first man to bring towels to Greece. And he was like, Greeks won't do that. Not when we have trusty flatbread.
Yeah, he still has a TV advertisement. He's famous from TV advertisements for bringing towels to Greece.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Greek world star hip hop where they're like, fellas, like she drips tzatziki on herself. What? WYD.
Okay, Megarika, keep going.
Megarika. Fact number 2.
Megarika.
There's a long road ahead of us here, guys. He uses corporate tactics to launder money and not pay his taxes. These tactics all have fun names in his native language. So here's a bit of an optional choose your own adventure, guys. Do you guys want me to use the English name of these corporate tactics, or do you want me to use the native language name?
Native language
I might
name.
be able to guess it or is it translated into English?
So there's
I'm-
no guarantee that I'll pronouncing these correctly.
I boldly know every language. No, do it in their native language. It'll be fun.
Okay. First tactic is possibly pronounced bile stado, a process in which a patsy, often a foreigner or a homeless person, is made head of a holding company before liquidating it.
So it's a Slavic language.
Okay.
All right.
Bile stado.
Yeah.
So far, your clues are Eastern Europe and it's a Slavic language. We've really narrowed it down.
I mean, the only one that it really can't be then are the Baltics. Then, so we have narrowed it.
Yeah.
Or Hungary or Romania.
It's not
We
the
already have
Baltics.
Romania.
Romania,
Romania,
we already
we
had.
had.
The tennis
Yeah.
star who swallowed a champagne glass hole.
King.
Nice.
I hate being owned.
Still respect
Um,
him.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cherna likvidancy Fermi.
That sounds
Wait,
beautiful.
what?
Can you say it again, but slower?
Yeah.
And more
Cherna likvidancy Fermi.
sultry? Wow. And you say you're married. Oh, damn it.
When a company is suddenly liquidated and the assets are transferred to an offshore company to hide the money from creditors, or often, in the case of this Megarika, a soon-to-be ex-wife.
Hey yo.
That was Enrico Fermi, the famous scientist, or what, I forget his first name. That was his first invention, creating this tax loophole.
Hiding assets from your ex-wife.
Yeah, and then he moved to the U.S. and did like particle acceleration or whatever
Yeah.
they do.
Also, you guys may be able to guess what this next corporate tactic is based on the word.
Being cool and being sexy.
He also does offshore spoleczny. He has several companies in the British Virgin Islands, revealed in the Panama Papers leak, named to sound like they were actually British. So this is where Josie will come in here.
Hello.
So tell me how British on a scale of 1 to 10 these two company names sound. Bomet Limited.
Wait, how's Bomet spelled? How many vowels are in it?
Only two.
Wait, what?
Bomet. Bomet Limited.
That could be any guy from my university year. That's not that British.
Or hang on. Shufford Investment. You know that old famous English town,
They're all-
Shufford.
They're all called like Chumley. Everything. If you're trying to guess what something British is called, it's usually Chumley.
Chumley.
But
Chumley.
Chumley spelt Cholmondley.
Snufford is actually the word when the famous Greek expat Snuffagopoulos moved to Europe and he moved to the UK. They had to anglicize their name, and he became Snufford.
It's a beautiful story of an immigrant family making their way.
All right. Fact number 3. According to journalists, this Megarika is one of the 5 most influential people in his country. He's a close friend with the president of his country,
Good.
since he lends the president his private jet for state business.
So it's Drake we're talking about then.
Ooh, are we talking about pedophiles? Allegedly.
You need to have a pedophile corner jingle as well.
Okay, so I want to talk about the current president of this country for a bit because I love him. The current
Did
president.
Drake really end up on the fucking Jeffrey Epstein list?
No,
What?
it's just the
No.
Millie Bobby
Oh,
Brown
okay,
text.
yeah,
and,
that's-
Yeah.
and there's other shit too. We can't get into it.
All right.
Will unspool Rob's mind matter. Okay, so the president of this country. Sorry, I lost my place. The current prez is a fun and cool president who's been in power for roughly 6 years.
Fun and cool president.
Fun and cool president. This
Beto O'Rourke.
it's me.
Beto O'Rourke Navskaya.
Yes. This president described the Crimea situation as
Good.
cunt here, pussy there.
What?
Again? Wait, what?
What?
Say again.
Cunt here, pussy there.
I thought at first that was some beautiful language you were speaking.
Actually, to be very
Contia pussy there.
to be very fair, that's like the most accurate take I think I've had from like
I'm so confused. What actually is that supposed to mean?
like that they're both stupid, they're both assholes or whatever.
I'm guessing that's what
yeah.
it's
Vagina holes.
They're
Vagina.
both vagina holes.
It's
Okay.
either that or he wants to fuck both of them.
Well, then in that
Probably.
case, then I
Um,
take that back. Not
I
cool.
am-
Not a very woke take of his.
From now on, describing every single situation in his gun here pussy there.
How was your
can-
day?
Oh, you know, can't hear pussy there.
I do want to
Me and my
tell.
female friend with that.
On our brunch date in Crimea, Sevastopol.
I just wanted to tell Yulia because it reminded me. I have to take the ring bond the
reminded
long way
you.
here.
what?
So I see a lot of the Schrebergartens when I come by, like when I take the ring bond on the way here.
Yeah.
And there's this one, and you know they always have like flags. So
Yeah.
like it's finally their like opportunity to fly the German flag and
Yeah,
just wild out.
I know,
But you
right?
also see some like Turkish flags, all sorts of stuff. And I saw an EU flag, and I thought, oh, that's funny. And then I looked closer, and there's the EU flag, and there's a flag below it. And I looked it up, and it's the EU flag and the Donetsk People's Republic flag at the Schrebergarten. And I'm like, what? There's a lot
Donetsk People's Republic as an independent, but also member
of the
state
EU.
What weird?
Yo, fuck Ukraine.
And their embassy is in Schrebergarten near Westkreuz.
What weird combination is that?
Donetsk, the part of like eastern Ukraine that's trying to break away.
Oh, okay. Listeners, I don't know what that is. And if you don't too, then it's okay.
All right. Getting back to the president of this country that Megarika is good friends with. The president accused journalists of supporting Hitler in an op-ed. When confronted with the fact that the op-ed didn't exist, the president said it did exist and he's not senile. No one had mentioned senility until this point.
So he's Greek then.
And then went to a press conference with a fake AK-47. Hang on.
God damn it, I'm so confused. Like, one second he's Drake, next second he's like a fucking Greek billionaire. Now he's a rapper? Like, just like...
This is fucking amazing.
AK-47, but maybe I've just heard of a gun name.
With a fake AK-47 with the label on it for journalists. And underneath where the magazine was, which is what I think is a bottle of Jägermeister. Oh.
It's
That
like...
sounds absurd.
It's like the Always Sunny where they try to make the gun that does vodka shots, but like actual shots of vodka out of a shotgun.
So that's the current president of this country.
Oh my God,
I will talk about it after you guys guess, but
Yeah.
interestingly, he also supports the former president of the country. He exclusively donates to this president's think tank, which, as far as I can tell, has the ideological positions of climate change skepticism and supporting the AfD in a German political climate of, quote, totalitarian political correctness, end quote.
What the fuck? Why did I not?
So that's this.
I hate that new
Megarika.
law that the German government passed that says Bills can only have blackface on their cover 20 days of the year. Like, this is totalitarian political correctness. There's no freedom anymore.
All right.
this is a really hard one. This is all over.
Yeah.
the
Wait,
place.
sorry.
Also-
Maybe I'm just dumb. The people you described, that's the president of the country, not the
So
rich
in the
person.
last fact with the AK-47,
Yeah.
that was the president.
But
This
but
Megarika-
his very terse assessment of the situation in Ukraine, that was himself.
no, that was also the president.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But this is a man that the Megarika firmly supports financially.
Okay.
I mean, I do too.
Yeah. So, Josie, you get first guess. Don't worry, it's not a real competition.
But
I'm
you'll-
keeping stats. I have StatCast going on in the background of
Yeah.
everyone's, reaction times and.
That's good to know. Also, all your listeners will be trying to judge whether or not I'll be a good guest for the next, I'm assuming from when I got here to the time it is now, 75 minutes of the podcast by how well I answer this. Okay, so we said probably Slavic countries.
Mm-hmm.
And that means it's probably somewhere I know nothing about. Latvia.
Ooh, wrong.
Is that not Slavic or
Slavic.
well, not Latvia, but so I'm guessing Latvia and not Latvia.
Alright.
One of my half guesses, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you may be right, but I'm just saying, linguistically, you're wrong.
Julia, what's your guess?
Nick's always Slav-splaining people.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, what's his name? Starts with B, Babiš or whatever, Czech Republic.
Okay, interesting. Nick, what's your guess?
I'm gonna say Serbia.
Okay.
That seems like a.
That's a good. Oh, I kind of want to.
Because I wanted to say Macedonia for some weird reason, but
I keep wanting to say that as well, but I think it's because I said it earlier.
yeah, I think because Rob tricked me earlier too. So I'm gonna go with Serbia because it seems like it. I don't know.
Seems like that kind of energy. Rob.
I'm gonna go. I don't know. Poland.
Okay. Okay. So I can now reveal that the correct guess was done by Julia. It is the Czech Republic. However, it is not.
That was the president. I was referring to the president right now.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, because all right. So this guy's name.
Because I know the AK-47 story.
Aw. But isn't the president of the Czech Republic also isn't he the third or fourth richest person?
So I'll get to this now.
All right, please.
So this is the richest person in the Czech Republic. His name is Peter Kellner.
Mm-hmm.
He owns a.
So he's German.
Yeah, right. This is really annoying when I kept looking him up and Google Translate kept translating his name as Waiter.
Waiter. Waiter.
Peter Waiter. So, okay. He owns a company called PPF that he founded the exact moment communism fell, basically. He's just this insane person whose only business model is to just buy failing companies and sell it for bits. Including a bunch of lignite mines in Germany that he just keeps buying and then keeps using.
Interesting.
Yeah. He's enemy numero uno for fucking Greenpeace. The president that I'm talking about, though. Yeah.
He wants to be the Trump of Czech Republic, and he wants to. Well, he said when he became president, he said he wants to lead this country the way that someone as if he is the CEO of this country, of the Czech Republic.
Yeah, pretty much. So, hang on. You might be getting confused with the Prime Minister, Babiš.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, the president is a ceremonial role.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's Miloš Zeman.
Ah, yeah.
Miloš Zeman, who I'm going to show you the picture now of him with the AK-47 that says 4 journalists on it and has Jägermeister
Yeah,
in with the magazine,
Yeah.
which he attended a press conference with.
How did I mix it
Yep,
up with
that's
Babish?
a-
Well,
that's a-
whatever.
looks like an
President,
AK-47
Prime
to me.
Minister.
Yeah. It's interesting you bring up Babiš because Babiš, the current prime minister of the Czech Republic, does contest that he's actually the richest person,
Yeah.
and that Peter
makes
Kellner's like wealth is all fake, which is really interesting.
All right.
But I really love Miloš Zeman. We need to come back to him more regularly because he's just buck wild. That private jet story that I found out that like basically the private jet of Peter Kellner is just like Air Force One, but for the Czech Republic.
Jeffrey Epstein's jet.
Yeah, pretty much. But the reason I found out about that story is that Miloš Zeman went on official like state business to China, went there and was like, communism's cool, and then like
Let's bring it back.
yeah, like he was like, China, I love you guys, you're doing it right over here, and then like went back on his weird business friend's private jet.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah. So that's Peter Kellner.
Nice guy. Good to know. Love the Czech Republic.
We do love the Czech Republic. This is Julia's second win
Yeah.
on the Mega Rika. I have not been keeping score of who's won.
I
And
think Yulia and I are tied.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have actually been keeping check. I take this
But who's counting?
very seriously.
Me too.
Karl-Marx-Straße.
I'll just do it.
Nazi
no
pop punk.
context.
Playing 1488.
Do you have to make comeback from break noises, or do you just go back into it?
We just edited it so it sounds like it was one podcast.
Yeah,
I
literally.
see. You don't get like, we're back from the break. You don't have like fake,
Oh, we can-
fake.
Your birth rates are falling. Don't bother at all.
Watching.
Yeah, Nazi pop punk.
Yeah,
Wait.
Sorry, I thought that was I gave myself too much credit on that one.
Josie, you've contributed 100% of our interludes, jingles that we've had on the history of the show. So thank you for that.
Do I get a producer credit?
Nope.
No.
Nick is taking that to the grave.
We'll talk about it after.
I could do advertising.
Are we doing ad reads?
Yeah, I think you should do ad
All right.
reads.
Guys, are you sick of your fucking shit-ass mattress? Why not get Casper mattress with the code Nazi Pop? Go to casper.com/Blink1488 and type in the code. It was a logistical problem that they all died.
All right, we're here.
You know, the Minority Report where they have the thing where everyone's doing custom-made advertising to you, and like you're surrounded by ads because of your eyeballs. Everyone
Yes.
remember that? Bit?
Yeah, I remember.
And
that.
I was like, that'll never happen. I think the I never expected all of it would be about mattresses. I should spend.
Oh, I love
over
the
€100.
The mattress ads are the best because there are definitely like mattress companies that are targeting you because you have recently bought a mattress. So they're like targeting
You want
wrong
another
one.
one? You
Yeah.
like mattresses? You want another one?
Hey, you just bought a Casper mattress. How about a Simba mattress?
I understand why they all have like sexy names. They're all called like Cynthia.
Yeah. I love to
like-
sleep on things.
It's like.
Oh, I get it. I'm meant to fuck this mattress.
All Cynthia mattresses have conveniently placed fuckholes.
Oh no.
No. They're called like.
What was the name of the
They got, like-
anime dolls that the
Daikamura.
Daki Makura.
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
actually, this segues not really for into me talking about what I really came to this podcast to talk about, which is the fact that my parents made me watch the first episode of Years and Years.
Oh, I didn't show you guys that.
What is that?
I broke my brain on this.
What is it? What is it?
It's basically so Russell T Davies, the person behind the reboot of Doctor Who on the BBC, and very good at representing non-London stuff in BBC shows, came up with a hot new take on modern life, which is basically a kind of now satire of current problems, except louder and more tragic to watch. Of like, it's like the whole point of it is that a baby is born like Jesus.
I was about to say, is that
the baby
the
isn't
Christmas
called
story?
Jesus? The baby's called Lincoln, and everyone goes, "Oh, how could you call it Lincoln?" And everyone talks a lot about the fact that the baby is half Chinese, but the dad is never seen, because that would be another job for a person of color.
We don't give those either.
Excuse me, this is the BBC, not the ABC.
And then Russell Tovey, holding the baby, goes, "Oh, you can't have a baby in a world like this." And he goes, "Ha ha!" And then he's like, "No, what's life going to be like in 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now?" And then a montage happens where everything bad in the world happens. Trump's elected for a second term. There's more like stuff about like the climate change happening, more like political tensions escalating. And then the show is basically made of like, it's not like subtly toying on contemporary neuroses. It's just like loudly shouting about all of the things that are currently terrifying. And the comic,
Like Twitter.
yeah, it's literally, it's like someone like narrativized Twitter. And, like, where like the like light relief is other stuff you're anxious about, but stuff that old people think is funny that you're anxious about it.
So-
being like,
Anxious comical relief, kind of.
it's literally like the comic relief is, "Ha ha ha! You went on a date with a guy who fucks his robot."
That's so funny.
And I've got to be careful about it because my friend, actress Temmie Wilkie, shout out if you listen
Hi,
to
Temmie.
a Berlin-based politics podcast, she has a cameo in the last episode of it, and she does very well. But all the rest of it made me so anxious, I nearly had a panic attack. My parents were like, "Aren't
Seriously?
you enjoying it? Are you having fun?"
Are you having
It's like,
fun?
it's all your worst fears realized.
So I watched a fair bit of it when you told me about the show that I had also not heard of. I feel like Nick and Rob also need to watch it because you guys will fucking hate it.
Another thing I have to hate.
Yeah.
So
Sorry,
much.
man.
But watch,
You put me
watch
through
the
too
6th
much
episode
today.
because of Temmie being in it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, yeah, I want to see Tammy.
But the
Also by Casper Mattresses.
folks, you hate going to the mattress office.
The mattress office.
Yeah, you get your mattresses delivered right to you. No, it's really fucking dumb. There's like this character. There's there's this fucking character in it that's basically a composite character of like Nigel Farage and what's that woman with all the terrible takes in British media?
My
Fuck.
mum.
No, the terrible one.
Oh, fuck. Katie Hopkins.
Katie Hopkins. Yeah, it's just like a combination. And she like rises eventually to become Prime Minister of Britain.
Was
and
she
then,
the one who then like there was that tweet resurfacing that she could fit like 2 liters of water in her vagina?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
What?
yeah. That's a thing
Did
that
she
happens.
tweet that?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of humanizing that even she can only fit 2 liters of water in her vagina.
Oh, she's human after all.
Only 2?
Why
She
would
can't
try
please a
that or do
man.
that? Oh, I'm so
no.
confused.
How many liters of water can you fit in your
2 liter dick. Like, what?
I mean, that is how Europe measures dick size, right?
Liters,
In
yeah.
liters.
What if they had a thing where you can only be like broadcast if you can fit above 2 liters of water in your vagina?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what the watershed is. That's what it actually means.
I need to test that now.
But yeah, you'd hate the show because there's just like a lot of like the reason for why fascism happens is because no one paid attention when the like checkout workers were replaced with automated checkouts.
Huh? Is that like Black Mirror, but
Yeah, no, it's like shitty Black
What
Mirror.
if your checkout worker was actually a fascist?
It's basically
and a robot?
the whole show I think is made for people to be like, wake up and smell the coffee, mum and dad. But it's so like loud and angry that I don't, well, like not even angry. It's just like, well, I don't know. We were too busy on our phones. We didn't even see.
I didn't even notice that fascism was
God
happening.
damn it!
It's
Seriously.
literally like we're
Yeah.
too busy on our phones.
Yeah.
thing.
Also, in
that
the
that
also-
fucking triggered me beyond belief this week because there was a video like there was. Did you guys see the picture of like the LSU lockers for the
Yes.
Rob saw them. Yeah, they got these fucking pimp ass lockers that
Look like Cameron designed it. Very
literally.
Okay, LSU. explain.
LSU, so
Not as
Louisiana
cool as
State.
Cameron.
Yeah,
And
Louisiana
how
State
pimp-ass are
University.
the lockers?
What?
How pimp-ass are the lockers?
They're purple and gold, and they have like each player has like a seat that then like reclines and like all this.
It's like a big flat screen TV.
Yeah, it's a college in the U.S.
But their lockers have TV screens.
Yeah, you know that place you want to just chill in the locker room
Yeah.
in your individual
So-
pods.
Then after that, there was then another coach or whatever from Northwestern University who had a video that they came up. He's like, I just don't understand. The kids just don't like going to the football games no more. They're just too busy on their phones. And gives you this just like fucking just dumbass boomer take about like why no one is going to sporting events because dishing out $150 fucking dollars to see college athletes play for free.
To just smack into each other
Yeah.
and watch them get CTE.
Yeah,
Why won't you go to a pregame party where everyone's drunk and you might get assaulted, and then afterwards you pay for the privilege of $150 where you can't even see anything? And
Yeah.
this is
Stop
where
describing the podcast.
this is this is where all there's no more investing in your university because they're spending just billions on trying to build a football program. The University of Massachusetts is doing that because they just bumped up from Division II to Division I, and they're just pouring money
God
into the
bless
football
them.
program. Whereas meanwhile, the like Boston campus is like in bankruptcy. They're like, someone buy us. please."
LSU had their entire library flood that exact same week that photo happened. So yeah, no,
Cool.
that's the only thing that's in that.
Yeah, but
that
fuck
room.
books. Like, do you know what opens
Fuck
like a?
bucks.
Do you know what opens like a book? A locker.
Oh, fuck.
It's just what's inside it is.
You know what opens like a book is your skull when it gets hit the wrong way.
Jesus Christ. American football.
You look like you've been relegated to a corner for pedophiles and very
For
dark
speaking the
jokes
truth.
about brain injuries.
That,
I've-
the last. Sorry, I just want to say before we move away from years and years, the last episode of it to tell you that like fascism has happened in the UK. They're like, and the BBC has shut down. The only thing stopping fascism in the UK is one of the networks that made this show. Yeah, that's right, you fucking swine. Just be thankful that we're stopping Oswald Mosley. Anyway, here's the Rivers of Blood speech again. We rebroadcast that recently. Anyway, yeah.
I have a question for you. I guess just Josie. Sorry, I keep assuming you're British.
Okay, cultural hegemony. I know what happens in that fucking hellhole.
It's the,
So,
it's
you know
Rick
that-
Hughes with Josie Parkinson. All right, Governor.
Do you know the show Have I Got News for You?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, because I was going to talk about this.
All right, please.
Apropos. of-
Because when I've been reading, I do a little bit of research. I did a whole 30 minutes of research.
Stop
about
bragging
this.
about how much you read.
on
About Boris Johnson, because
Bojo
everyone
Jojo,
talks about Bojo. British people love coming up with little.
It's the
nicknames.
fucking tabloid.
the,
like
the
Bojo.
thing about. Okay.
So they kind of rehabilitated his image and like kind of made him, oh, look at this funny character. And it actually reminds me a lot of this of Brazil, because Bolsonaro for years and years was like, here's this crazy right wing voice we're going to have on the show. And then just as like conditions develop,
Listicles
eventually,
about why you should fuck Jair Bolsonaro.
Actually, this kind of ties in with the Years and Years chat, because the way that Years and Years sets up the kind of populist character played by Emma Thompson, Vivian Rook.
Wait, what? Emma Thompson plays it.
Yeah, she plays the Nigel Farage, Katie Hopkins
She
fascist
plays the
character.
populist-
Yeah.
and
Is that
she,
because she has
has
red
like
hair?
a northern
Yeah.
accent in it to kind of like make it seem like she's a woman of the people. I don't know. I feel like she must drop it at some point. I don't know.
I think she
yeah,
does
so-
when she's explaining concentration camps to the private firm that are going to run the concentration camps.
Yeah.
The erstwhile site.
Wait, wait.
Camps in this.
Wait, you're saying the country that invented concentration camps?
Oh, they
No.
do bring that up.
Okay.
But they're like, they bring it up in such a way that is kind of decent, where she's like, basically like, we're just going to let everyone starve in the concentration camps, and that'll be fine because that's what we did before, and everyone forgot about it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It always
No,
like that's the thing.
But
that-
they also just like don't talk about Jarlswood or anything like that, like contemporary fucking British
Oh, cool.
concentration camps.
Cool.
But what I was going to say was basically the way that she kind of first gets on the radar of the media in Years and Years, a fictional show, is that she kind of like says something inflammatory, or she like says like, she basically swears on Question Time, which you guys know what BBC Question Time is basically.
No.
A kind of like political debate show, but not all of the people on the panel are politicians, and people ask questions from the crowd about political issues.
Yeah.
And so
She says when it comes to Israel and Palestine,
I don't give a fuck. Yeah. But
Is
like,
this the one that then when people are asking Jeremy Corbyn, they're like, Jeremy Corbyn, why will you not nuke Iran when you...
Yeah, that whole fucking thing.
yeah.
And there's just guys who looked like pieces of ham, like we talked about earlier.
Gamin.
Yeah.
Jamon.
Say fancy.
But no, when they're in the upper echelons of society, they're called jamon. So basically, like
That's what
so,
Remainer gamins call themselves. Jamon.
There's something in that with because my experience of Boris Johnson as a child was watching Have I Got News for You while my parents were watching it, and I didn't know anything about political issues. I just knew that Paul Merton made silly jokes that I could understand, and then Ian Hislop was the clever one, and then Angus Deaton hadn't yet been convicted for doing cocaine with prostitutes. And I was like, he
a crime?
says nice.
Seriously, that's a crime.
Hold on, guys, I have to go.
I was just like, big eyebrows, nothing to fault here. And then
I like big eyebrows.
but no, big eyebrows are fine. Though, actually, a side note is that my new Belgian friend said the other day of a woman we were looking at, she's got really bushy eyebrows. You can tell she's British. And I've never felt more self-conscious in my life.
I didn't know British people have big eyebrows.
Well, thank you, first of all,
Yeah.
because you can see my eyebrows. Second of all,
I like your eyebrows. They're in good shape.
Yeah, listeners, you can't hear, but Josie has wonderful eyebrows.
listeners, I'm just going to
She's gonna
ruffle them
she's gonna
into the
rub the microphone on her eyebrows.
Yes,
Actually,
please
I
do
need
some-
silence for this.
Oh, it's
There is no sound coming through.
Because they're not bushy. Anyway, no. So Boris Johnson was like, he would sometimes guest host it, even, or like be on the panel, because they would have politicians on the panel quite regularly and still do. But it was just like he just seemed like a silly posh man because he bumbles a lot. Will like throw out long words and be like, yes, well,
Genocide.
it's a bit like a fucking piss up in a brewery or whatever.
Remember when I called gay people bum boys?
Yeah, it was like it's like
Yeah.
it's sort of similar. I don't know. It feels a bit like a political but like less charming and like surreal version of like Noel Fielding of like just throwing
He
out
always
combos of
reminded
words.
me of Muzzy. This is probably for the European heads.
what?
Did you not get like the videos of like Muzzy teaches you French or Muzzy teaches you German?
No,
Yeah, of
Muzzy
course.
taught me nothing.
Muzzy taught you.
I love. That
I was left
episode.
behind by Muzzy.
Look, Muzzy already had tenure. Muzzy was not teaching.
Muzzy was always like...
Muzzy?
I feel like I've seen that written in a toilet stall. Muzzy taught me nothing.
Muzzy was always like
I missed out in my childhood.
yeah, Muzzy was always like advertised in the US as being the posh European answer to like language learning for children. And then like I remember in a Spanish class when I was like a kid we watched it and I was like it's just very slow and way too French.
He looks horrifying.
I don't
Yeah.
know that guy.
So it
Which
was
one is Muzzy?
the
Muzzy's
big
the big
green
is the
one.
big blue one, yeah.
He's not going to be the friendly Poochie character or the princess or the.
Where's
Princess.
Poochie?
Where's Poochie?
Wait, what does this guy do?
Muzzy
it was like a
teaches you.
language
It was a language learning thing, but it was like way too slow
Well,
for you
I
then to like.
didn't have to learn.
Yeah, well, it was just like it's
You're
like
from mainland
German
Europe, you
superior
learn all languages
intellect,
anyway.
where the only languages they're expected to learn is like their own, and then a language that everyone in the world uses that is very similar to theirs, but simpler because it doesn't have cases.
Dutch?
No, English. But no, Muzzy was like a language learning tape. It was just like a cartoon that was made in like the 60s of this green fuzzy man who would go through very basic adventures to teach you basic vocab of
How could
any language.
Basic adventures as in basic bitches? Or
Yeah. Him going to like brunch.
Awesome. Shit, I missed out.
Muzzy's in Lululemon.
Muzzy's meeting someone for drinks at fucking... What was that Brexit supporting bar again? The one that's everywhere in the UK?
Weatherspoons?
Weatherspoons, yeah. They put it on all their... They put it on their...
Oh,
They put Brexit supporting things on all their
oh my
posters.
god! No,
Seriously?
it's so
Yeah.
funny because also they've now since been like, we don't need Europe. we've got brand new English Prosecco.
Oh, yay!
Jägermeister, Negermeister. Now you're gonna have Flirschnen. It's the same thing.
What the fuck is flesh?
Except you've got to have Flirschnen bombs now. Tell your friends.
Oh no!
That's exactly the noise I made. It's like, oh no!
Sorry, you can't have Jaeger bombs anymore, but we're bringing back Irish car bombs, that favorite drink everyone has.
That was only a thing Americans did. The British knew.
I thought you
because
meant
they were all aimed at them.
I thought you meant literal Irish car bombs.
Yeah, that's what
Maybe.
that
Yeah,
is
me
actually
too.
something that's coming back.
Which would be nice. Yeah, I
Two
was
for the
in,
price of one, am I right?
I love listening to all the lecturers who have embedded themselves in like rural Armagh, being like, so I know you guys are underplaying this, but they are arming themselves to the teeth over there. Woo! So should we get into like some beautiful trash articles
Wait, hang
about?
on. I haven't finished talking about
Oh,
Boris
sorry.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Because what I was saying eons ago
Yes.
with an A because I'm English. No, is that yeah, that he was. It meant it sort of from when I was under the age of 10. It was like this guy's a figure of fun and like friendly and it's really nice to see a politician who can make fun of himself. Oh, have a laugh. He knows he's posh. La la la. And we can make a really clever joke. And it was like it meant that when he got elected to mayor of London, I was like, oh, cool, he's a guy from TV. A benefit of me is that I'm quite a good windsock for when the mainstream media is trying to tell you something. I say mainstream media, I mean general media, because I think very literally the thoughts they want me to have.
Oh yeah. That's me as well. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I'll be like, well, he seems all right. Like, I'm the sort of person who, if I'm trying to choose between two cafes and one says we do sandwiches, cakes and coffees, and one says we do delicious sandwiches, cakes and coffees, I'll be like, well, I'm going to go for the one that does delicious sandwiches. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. And so same way, it's like these comedians seem to like Boris Johnson, therefore I like Boris Johnson. But then
Makes sense.
if you read on him for like 30 seconds. That's assuming you're a slow reader.
I
then
know
you
his
everything
hair
should
is
know.
just mesmerizing. His big, wide Germanic forehead, mesmerizing. But once you get
Greedy
past
eyes.
that, then you realize something about Boris Johnson.
It's just like it's I think it's I have a theory that there are no British eccentrics below like upper middle class. Because being an eccentric is
it's a
preserve-
privileged position.
It's a very privileged because if you like build a shed out of dolls' heads and you're a millionaire, you're a British eccentric. If you are a janitor for like a primary school,
And you do
then
that
you're a terrifying psychopath and you'll be locked up
Well,
immediately.
that's the same with day
Like-
drinking.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with murdering people too, like
And
Oh my
pedophilia.
God.
pedophilia too.
Yeah.
If
Day drinking, murdering,
you know,
all the stuff.
if I'm a pedophile, that's bad. If Jeffrey Epstein's a pedophile, Google Jeffrey Epstein. It's normal and cool.
I think for a while when I was a kid, I thought I could be an eccentric because I didn't realize we didn't have enough money for that. I couldn't afford to
So
be an eccentric.
unfortunate.
It's like,
Now you're just a weirdo.
I think I'm probably gonna work, and I'm just gonna like work on my like writing and like have weird adventures, and then realize that my parents couldn't afford that.
It's always sad if you find out.
But also like kind of like, keeping it old school with the UK.
Hey, it's big time, Tommy. I'm here with my good pal Boris Johnson, teaching him some Italian. Okay, Boris, what do you say after me? Forget about it. Forget about it.
Forget about it. No, actually,
We're keeping it old school.
sorry.
Oh, yeah. Like the sense of like all the fancy boys who just like moved to this is like what, late 19th century or whatever. It's like, you got nothing to do. What are you gonna do if you're a fancy boy from London but you like also are just a piece of shit? Your family's gonna send you to like whatever British colony exists in Africa or India, and you're gonna I don't know, have adventures and do whatever that whole
Actually,
thing
you know
is.
why they did that?
What?
Like they actually like send young
Yeah,
young men
I know that,
there
yeah.
We need you to go over there and classify the races that are over there, please.
Yeah, have some
happens in,
adventures. Like be more disciplined.
I think that's quite. I think that's now what happens in.
Son, you need to
Africa's
learn
America
responsibility.
and-
Here's a small African nation
Exactly.
of 3,000 square miles.
But actually, like it's so weird how the classism in Britain works because you can so easily be bamboozled by someone's accent, even though the whole of Britishness is based on the fact that there's always someone posher than you, and you always hate the person posher than you. I bet you anything actually, except I have a very low net worth, but I bet you anything that the Queen has someone that she thinks is posher than her. I guarantee you. The Queen thinks she's down to earth and she thinks there's someone posher than her. But at the same time.
I fucking hate these fake bitches. You know, what up? Yeah. What up? It's your girl, Elizabeth. It's hot girl summer.
Instagram live stream.
Can you please have a podcast within your podcast, which is the Queen Elizabeth II's podcast? Being like,
All I know about the Queen is that she eats Weetabix, and that's good enough for me.
that is good enough for me.
Yeah, right.
That's so weird to eat that.
What is that?
That's
Weetabix.
like it's like bricks made out of
Cocaine?
Shredded wheat.
shredded
It's,
wheat, and you put
So good.
you put milk over it, and
It's
some
the-
people put sugar on it.
It's the
And then-
original lie that the devil told to the world because
Yeah.
it's truly mush.
Yeah,
it's
it
brown
is.
mush.
It's just mush.
I
Seriously.
remember they did a big
It's wheat
rebrand a
polish.
few years ago, being like a different Weetabix for every day of the week, the Weetabix challenge, and it was like
So you
putting
put
blueberries on it.
Oh, you put different stuff instead of sugar on it.
Yeah, it was
Awesome.
like blueberries.
I mean,
like
that was the
melons.
marketing lie. You always put sugar in it. That shit
Literally.
needs sugar.
Down with it in
Definitely.
flavors. Yeah.
Yeah, my
I'm
sister
imagining
was
just
so
like
into
food
that.
rations now. I cannot imagine.
Yeah,
a
I
food
would
it's
not
bricks.
be
It's wheat bricks, and you put like something. Like
You can get it
You can probably. There are people who eat that with
Vita
water
beets.
because they're weird.
Oh,
Like,
people who
they
drink.
wanna-
Oh no, those people are psychopaths. who
Because
would
they
drink
want to be
drink the
so
mush water.
healthy.
They drink
with
what?
water. Like
They do it with water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
instead of milk.
It's,
Yeah.
I think it's
it's supposed to be with
telling
milk.
that this is the loudest and most impassioned we've got so far in the podcast.
Yeah,
So-
bitch.
Fucking Weetabix with water!
It's so weird.
Death to the Weetabix with water.
Fuck this rising fascism in Europe and the West. Weetabix with water, fucking round them up, kill them all.
I think there's like I'm trying to be better at not thinking people think they're better than me just because they make better life choices or healthier life choices. But at the same time, the
also
kind
sad.
of like tension of when you ask if someone wants coffee or tea and say, no, just hot water with lemon. And,
Ew.
Oh my god.
same. It was like,
Get
no,
at
I'll
least
just
cold
have,
water with lemon.
Really? It was like, I'll just have some cereal with a little water. It's like, who are you?
Christ.
It's,
I
and
will-
Vodka and cigarettes.
Interestingly,
That's
the
same
opposite effect is like if a man tells me I would like a glass of milk now, I immediately
Dating advice from Josie. Oh,
There
there
was
was
a-
Don't
Wait,
do
I have a
it.
really fucking.
No, hang one second before because my
Okay.
my ex-boyfriend once I got him tickets to the cinema I worked in to see a film about Nick Cave. Yes, I dated a cool boy.
Yeah.
And he was like, I was like, hey, do you want to, I can give you a discount on a glass of wine or something. He's like, no, I've brought snacks, got a 2-pint bottle of whole milk.
that's not snacks.
And a big bag of spicy peanuts. He went and
Wow.
That's so
sat
punk
That's a
rock.
keeper.
he consumed all of that in front of honest to goodness people.
What?
And
Wait. So did he bring the milk because the spicy peanuts were too spicy? And he needed milk.
see, at least that would make some sense.
Yeah.
He was just like, I love milk, I love spicy peanuts.
That's the classic
My
Nick Cave
name's
song.
Josie's ex-boyfriend. I think like
Yeah, rightfully so. It's an
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend.
yeah, I should have just told him to leave and banned him from my place of work at that point, honestly.
The only thing that could make that worse if it's the height of summer and there's no air conditioning in this.
It was winter time. But
because
It was
just
winter
the
time.
kind
It's
of
even
energy
sadder.
of just like, all right, I'm going into a 2.5 hour sweat box with roughly 30 to 60 other people and my milk that I brought from home.
I think
It's a 2-liter bottle of milk, right?
It's two pints, 2 pints,
2
but it's
pints.
a tall bottle.
That would
I
be
think
about a liter.
This is like
Okay.
a very sad. There's like a subsection. My Wikipedia page will have a subsection of like people that Josie has been dumped by ? Question mark? Question mark?
Milkman.
Question mark? Exclamation
Guys,
mark.
make the official Corner Späti wiki, which is 1 page of like who has Josie been
People
dumped by.
So there's someone had to call time on Josie for their relationship, and that. Reader, if you can't tell, I'm perfect. I keep wanting to call listeners reader, and that's not appropriate.
That is not
to the
correct.
medium.
No. Should we get into a fucking garbage article about Boris Johnson?
Is that code for a little fan fiction about Boris Johnson?
Is it Boris Johnson fucking? If it isn't, then I don't want to hear it.
Well, okay, so we
Yeah,
guys-
is it? Yeah.
You know, like he tries to, but he doesn't. You know,
I found a beautiful love story
Is it
between
romantic?
Boris Johnson and Jacob Rees-Mogg.
I need to cry.
That friend of the show at Svemfest kind of was already
Goes on
sharing
to-
with people.
yeah.
So I'm just going to let you Google that yourself. There's 2 others I will bring up. This one I particularly like just because it's a little out of left field. You know,
Actually, hang on. To continue on from the whole Femfest /fic thing, if you want to read that, join the Discord, you fucking
Yes.
hogs. It's the chat room
Good
we have all
question.
our fans in.
Oh,
Yeah.
join it.
Yeah.
Tell everyone how much you like Josie Parkinson.
Yes. I will make a roll on the Discord for Josie Parkinson defenders.
Well, you know, the thing with that is I appreciate it was written very lovingly, you know. So please go look
It is a
up,
tender
all
story.
you listeners.
All right.
But it's a
sure.
little played out, you know, just like with the Macron Trudeau fan fictions.
Oh,
it's
that
a little
writing was
it's too
horrible.
obvious. What I really appreciate about this one
we didn't even read that one.
is it took a little
actually.
creativity.
Oh, no, that was
This
horrible.
relationship, Boris Johnson and Brian Cox.
Hey yo.
Oh, Nomen
Brian
est
Cox,
Omen.
I'd heard the name, didn't know who he was. A popular, like a pop physicist.
People
in
have
the
compared
UK.
me to him because I used to have very similar hairstyle.
Oh, well.
Oh, okay.
Also, middle-aged women love me.
They do.
Well-
Yulia saying that as a 50-year-old German woman.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it begins. Brian's head felt like someone had tried and succeeded in ramming the Hubble telescope inside it.
Wait, you mean head like his head or like
He
Yeah.
screwed his eyes shut against the impending daylight and pulled the duvet back over his head.
Oh, his
Tried
real
to trap
head,
in the
not
dark.
his- yeah.
The sun is a cock, he thought. Definitely not for the first time.
That's what I think every morning.
That's patriarchy.
Remember, this is Josie's like Brian Cox, so we're inside the mind of Josie right now.
All right.
I'm still confused though. Like, what's the definition of head here? Like,
I think they talk about its real head, like
It's
with hair.
you know,
and shit.
it's not didactic fiction, Nick. Okay, it's supposed to be.
Imagine my
It's
head.
open to interpretation. It's a piece of art,
Oh,
so you
okay.
can't
But I'm
just.
So
still-
it could also be his head.
They haven't set it up to be sex yet, so it's probably his actual head.
I'm just thinking that he was
Aw,
just like
I hate
giving Boris
extra
Johnson
heads.
head right now, and like that's where it starts. It's just like
Would
boom,
you rather
sexy.
your boyfriend would
It's
just
like
a
the
penis
fucking
and then
Breaking
a
Bad.
smaller penis?
It's like the Breaking Bad cold open where it's just like, oh, right.
I think people should have regular faces, not penises walking around. I'm sorry. I'm a traditionalist.
Apparently.
This is what it means to be Strasserized in 2019. No penis-headed people, please.
Okay,
I'm,
cool.
I'm going to
Go-
skip a bit. They mentioned the Mars rover and a bunch of things. He stretched.
How did that?
Wait, is
Okay.
that sci-fi?
It's
Also,
called simile. All right.
Do you want me to read the lines that are Brian's?
There's no dialogue though. Sadly, it's all in his.
There's
It's
no
all his narration.
dialogue.
Okay, in that case, you have to do an impression of my voice.
There is a little dialogue later. I'll have you do it. For now, yeah, he just okay. We'll jump into the action. These are not my sheets, he thought. He rolled his head to the side, rubbing his face into the pillow. There was a definite smell of Tory.
I'll get my tooth on the mic. Is that okay?
That is okay.
That's fine.
Very suddenly, he became aware of another body lying asleep next to him when the body snored. Brian froze. Bollocks.
Bollocks. That's so British.
Every morning, I say that when I wake up.
Bollocks.
All right, I got to skip ahead a bit. Brian rolled over, cracking his eyes over, and peeked over the top of the duvet. Next to him, the telltale mop of Boris Johnson's hair seemed to flutter as the man sighed before settling again.
Oh, 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 daddy.
No. It's Oh, daddy.
Yeah.
Please.
There's some excellent dialogue. If there was ever a time for a convenient black hole, this would be it. That's physics. That's physics humor.
Oh,
Yeah, is it a
that's a
sci-fi-
Brian Cox line. I thought you just interjected that.
Is it
No.
a sci-fi
Wait,
story?
Brian Cox isn't a porn star?
Yeah, what is that?
Everyone needs
Quite
a,
like
you know.
laconic. He's very sort of very like. If ever there were a time for a black hole, this would be it. That would probably. I think that's.
Yeah, that's
That's
Brian
right.
Cox energy.
It's kind of. He's got. I think he's got a slight northern accent. Actually, I can't do it.
He does. He's okay. So he's
If
definitely like a
ever
British
there were a
analog.
time for
He's like a British analog for Neil deGrasse Tyson. He does kind of like
presumably. I think without the assaults on women.
yeah. Where's the low
Anyone?
bar?
Yeah. You know what I want really like right now though? I want the, because Johnny Sins has been like has been everything, astronaut, plumber, whatever it is. Every role in porn, he's done it. I want to see Johnny Sins play Boris Johnson.
Again, this is the industry that will come back after Brexit.
Yeah.
There's definitely already a porn of Boris in it.
Yeah, but
And we're going to find it right now.
From
My
some deep
birthday so soon.
From some deep crevice of his memory, he could remember a few sketchy details about the awards ceremony the night before. He was 80% sure Ed Miliband had been there as well. Why couldn't he have gone home with him? At least
Because
he
he ate
Labour.
a sandwich weird.
God, that is literally why politics is the way it is in the UK right now.
Yeah, right?
Next to him, Boris rolled over and snaked one arm over Brian's waist in his sleep, pinning him down.
that's disgusting.
It was pathetically endearing. In his sleep, Boris muttered something about a bendy bus. Well, Brian thought, I picked the best of the Conservative Party. After all, it could have been George Osborne.
Okay, hang on now.
Can I take a quick bath break?
I'm sorry. Best of the Conservative Party is Matt Hancock, a Labrador that has been turned into a human being via some sort of witch's curse.
Is he the one who was like doing
He just wants to turn everything into an app, and every time someone mentions something to him, he's just like really gung ho for it.
But he was the one who was telling you like to stay healthy you can do parkour and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, what?
He doesn't actually want to be a Tory. He just wants to retire and do parkour.
Yeah.
Like,
Seriously?
yeah.
He had these videos on like I don't know, Instagram or Twitter that's like a great way to stay healthy is to do parkour.
That's an interesting tip.
Yeah, I can't read all of this.
I want you to.
They pieced together the night. I will read this little.
Yeah, I want you to piece together
You're not doing
this
enough of the
night.
British accent.
One little note. He stopped momentarily by the hall mirror to examine the necklace of bruises on his chest. Well, of course,
Damn, Boris is a fucking slut.
of course, the mayor of London was into biting.
Sorry.
God.
All right, we have to move on. The link will be in the description.
Oh my god, no, this leaves me in like...
You blue balls.
Exactly. That's my plan.
Come on!
If you want the rest of the story, you have to leave the EU.
All right, so for all Patreon
I want the
supporters,
rest of the story.
is
The only
Rob
other fanfic
reading
I want to
the
point
entire
out,
story.
and this one is, first of all, respect because it's completely platonic, no sex in it. So I appreciate a different change of pace. What I don't appreciate is that the main characters are David Cameron, Boris Johnson, and Nick Clegg. And Nick Clegg is the crazy bad boy of the group.
That's interesting.
So basically, Boris and David Cameron have to say, no, we won't do that. And then Nick Clegg has to be a badass. And then they have to agree. Then they
Is
accede
this
to
like
Nick
a friendship
Clegg's demands.
story and shit like that? And they...
Which I don't know a lot about British politics, but that seems like a lot of projection, I would say.
Nick
A
Clegg
lot
was
of
the person who was like, I've been talking for... Well, yeah, so I wasn't old enough to vote at this point. I'm famously very young and relevant.
Google
no.
pedophilia.
Too old for pedophilia, still young enough to be relevant. The thing was that Nick Clegg was going around saying like, tuition fees, schmooition fees. I'm Nick Clegg, vote for me, kids. And then as soon as it was like,
And then he
57%
kickflipped,
wants
didn't
to-
he?
wants to make a majority. He was like, tuition fees, schmooition fees, please have me. So yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's
not the bad
it's
boy.
deeply worrying.
The Lib Dems are hilarious.
Nick Clegg does such
Great
things
at
as
politics history.
Nick Clegg goes to a riot in London, and they see him.
Oh.
I'll just read the quote. Teresa and Boris, so Theresa May is also in here, rushed into David's office to see Nick Clegg on the telly. He was bloodied,
On the
bruised,
telly.
and shirtless, throwing rocks at car windows near the UKIP headquarters.
Nick.
I ought to have him arrested. The little blighter. The next morning, Nick turned up in David's office looking sheepish. Fine, we'll try to put more Lib Dem policies forward. No guarantees, David said sternly. Nick
Who the
nodded and
fuck-
left David's office.
Who the fuck thinks anyone who supports the Lib Dems is going to riot in the street?
Shirtless.
I just want to say,
Shirtless
I
riot.
just want to say,
Can you say okay?
this is a 10-part series, so there's a lot here.
Oh.
It's a song.
Does Theresa? What sexy stuff did Theresa May do? Anything? 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't
I'm
see any
curious.
sexy stuff in this. This is just how Nick Clegg is a badass. This is more of an action.
I'm
That's
really
not
curious
actually-
to like who. I think the best thing I can say about Theresa May is I don't think anyone sexualized her, but
You haven't read my fan fiction yet.
There was that point where she met with Nicola Sturgeon, and all the tabloids were like, "Look at those legs."
oh Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also like to take this opportunity to plug my 2004 fan fiction about Green Day. Fanfiction.net would not publish it because it was about real living figures.
What?
But if you just email me directly,
That
I
is
can
some-
fax you a copy.
That is some philosophical bullshit. For sure, there are real people who are in the band Green Day, but Green Day is a fictional persona that is put forward.
One of the members is called Trey Cool.
Oh, yeah.
That is not his Christian name. He is Trevor Cool.
I'm just wondering, did your fan fiction include that one other random person who's like not officially a person of Green Day, or no?
No, my fan fiction was about how they got kidnapped by an alien race that looked like hamsters. And I remember being
Nice.
12/13 and being like
Took a long time to write the story.
proudly showing it to my mom and being really proud of myself because I'd listened to their songs.
Yep.
And so I knew that it would be important for me to include that they packed some, because the point is they would go on holiday together and then they get kidnapped. They packed some goodies for the road, some snacks, some beers, some cannabis. some,
Josie, you're grounded.
it's like, I know these guys.
Should we talk a bit about UK politics?
No.
No.
How long have we ran for now?
126.
Oh.
So that's pretty much
Well,
Scottish
do you
Speed
have
length.
bonus apps? Do you
Well-
have bonus things?
It's up to you guys. I mean, I have some takes about the UK.
You can do
but,
some takes, I
that's-
guess. Like,
Well, I can read. Sorry, I took up our time.
I'm debating
with
if
this
I should like
lovely-
edit this or not because I've been enjoying just like the stream of consciousness.
This so fucking casual episode.
if
we're
you-
doing.
Josie, can explain Brexit? What's going on?
Well, so I was like, actually, fuck this. And then I left the UK and everyone was like, that was a great idea, Josie. And that's what Brexit was for me personally. No, I actually, a true story is that I got too stressed out by UK politics, so took a break for a year and focused on American politics in terms of what I read and looked at. Thought like, I'll think about Brexit later.
Take a break, like a
took a
more
break.
chill politics.
Yeah,
Less crazy.
I was like, I'll take a break. I can keep a critical distance with US politics, and then came back to it when I had a job that required me to look at UK politics news. And honestly, in 2 years between the 2016 vote and 2018 autumn when I started working at this place, I was like, so all that they've decided is they don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay, I've missed nothing. The more that I learn about it, the less I know. But in latest news, someone marry me. I need a secure passport. Yulia, are you free?
Yulia just entered the room. Oh, hello, German citizen.
This is a special pod because Yulia and I are getting married live on the pod. Live on this recorded pod.
Rob is officiating because, of course, look at him. He runs a mega church in the U.S.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, listener, look at Rob. I'm going to allow you a 30-second break to look at Rob.
I mean, like,
This is him on like on a lazy Susan spinning around.
Doop, doop, look at Rob.
It's the tallest Syrian man you've ever seen.
Yeah, wait, why are you serious?
I'm partially Syrian. Respect
That is
my
bullshit.
heritage.
My gynecologist.
Oh, look
asked
at
me
Germans with their race signs.
Yeah, all right. I know.
I can tell.
I know. All right. I have to explain a little bit for the listeners because race operates differently in Europe and the U.S. In the U.S., you get to be like a million different things. It's great. You get
And
like
in Europe, you're only Syrian or you're
an
nothing.
you're an eighth Ukrainian. Like
Baby,
there's-
you're 100% Ukrainian.
There's a
in my
day
book.
in third grade where you get to like give a presentation on your heritage, and you get to talk
Here's
all
why
about Ukraine.
asphalt is
You're
why
0.1% native. All right.
Well, this is something I noticed on
Yo, I
Wikipedia.
did my 23andMe. It says I'm like 1/14th Uzbek. Here's my TED Talk.
It's like it's 8-year-old Rob going to the classroom like, this is how the white man screwed us over.
no, it's fucking 8-year-old Rob, but he's like a truther about the Syrian civil war.
This actually, I remember being really confused because I learned about everything I could from like cross-referencing episodes of The Simpsons with episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's why I am the knowledgeable woman you see before you. But I remember being really confused by people talking about, you're just being mean to us because we're Irish, and like these American accents and very American-looking faces in America, and being really confused.
Stealing our valor.
Completely.
Yeah,
But,
you really offended fucking Officer McAllister.
exactly. But I met at my new job. I'm pausing for the listener to go, woo!
You're employed.
Full-time
That's
job,
awesome.
baby. Guess who's eating vegetables on the reg? But there was there's a guy in my new work who is from Finland, but he's a minority in Finland, you guys. Ooh. Because he's
A Nazi.
Swedish.
Oh, fuck off.
He's
The
like-
only correct answer to that is Sammy.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's from the largest minority in Finland is Swedish speaking people, 500,000
Oh, no.
people.
Yeah.
And how does he feel?
I was being like, do you go up
Swedish.
to
They have a political
Yo,
I was like-
he's a fucking POC.
I mean, exactly. I was like, do you go up to black people and say, you know what, same? But
Now, I had a brief stint of acting in the Finnish television scene, and you know, I was just always cast as the Swedish drug dealer or a Swedish gang crop.
yeah, it's I was trying to.
Do
ask
you
him-
want to have some problems with me?
I was like, what kind of things people talk about Swedish people in Finland? It's like, they say we're all like rich and assholes. And in fairness, I think that Swedish people are rich and assholes.
And pretty.
Yeah, well, he's just saying sort of like, and I was like, are you sure you haven't just internalized all these prejudices against Swedish people?
Okay. Have
I
you
love
ever?
Finnish Wire, and it's just like all the Swedish drug dealers are like, hey, oh man, do you want just some hurdy with your gurney? Just like, some good gurney. Oh, my name isn't Finnish, boy.
Flödgen. Actually, Grund Schnups.
Grand,
No, it'd be like a Reiki. like-
Grand Shapson.
Yeah.
I don't know. Finnish names are the fucking most bizarre shit in the face of the earth.
Reikunen, Häkkinen.
Flögönen,
Look,
Snögen.
all I know is I support
Sorry.
that like left-wing party in Finland that I will never be able to pronounce. It begins with a V and there's like 12 A's in it.
Yeah, shout out
Fön,
them.
Flögen, Snögen.
So I spend a lot of time on Wikipedia. As you know.
Yeah, you
And
do, Rob.
Something that is fascinating to me about Wikipedia is that
No, go for it. Keep going.
so. I don't even know what's in the fridge.
I have one.
Oh, wait a second.
I don't know if we have enough.
I don't know if we have enough, but it still doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no chance to talk about Boris Johnson.
I don't give a shit. Boris Johnson's a fucking bitch, and I don't want to talk about him because that's the reality. Like the reality of this episode is that then Boris Johnson's a piece of shit. We all acknowledge
Well,
it,
this
and
is
we don't want to acknowledge that.
This is like
Yeah.
separatist
Yeah.
somehow. This is like meta, like This is a concept. Ignoring Boris Johnson.
Oh yeah, look,
not
this
talking
this
about
whole
him.
podcast is a criticism of the media, not talking
We
about.
can share.
This is a performative criticism because Brexit, as we've maybe alluded to before, that Brexit is like the perfect distillation of the culture war, and that ostensibly there are real issues at hand, but it's all murky and it's just like separated into two sides that are just basically always fighting, and like the actual outcomes of either side is not exactly clear, and you just further entrenches this divide rather than any other sort of political action you can do.
Yeah.
So the most
just leave it,
revolutionary
you're
act
fine,
you can do is just be like, Brexit, goo goo gaga, it doesn't matter, and then just talk about whatever
like,
other bullshit.
This is kind
That
of
is our radical praxis.
that was kind of what Josie was talking about, where she like comes back to Brexit after X many years and nothing has fucking happened.
Yeah.
'Cause,
We have
like,
Yes,
been
I'm
waiting.
relevant.
The thing that I love so much about Brexit is that it just proves to me as a fellow like native English speaker that it is not the US that is the dumbest country in the world. It's the UK.
What's funny about the
Well,
UK?
it's actually the UK.
Don't you dare defend the UK.
No. It's the UK, and they spread like there are people everywhere. Though they put them in the US, they put them in Australia. You see what happened?
And they're the worst. Like the
Exactly.
thing that like, all right, I want to like.
That's why Australia is so fucking stupid.
I know. I hate Australia.
They're just old English people.
hang on now.
Yeah, left out in the sun for too long.
I always support good Australian politics of closed borders, sensible economics, and just claiming that all Aboriginal people are drug dealers for no good reason.
I thought you were going to say throwing eggs at people, but that's...
Oh, I love that
That is
boy.
what
He's the only good person in Australia.
Oh yeah, egg boy. Yeah.
Egg boy.
Even their
Support
Greeks
Egg Boy.
suck.
I know. The official corner Späti take is that all countries are fucking terrible. There are concentration camps in Ireland right fucking now. Like, this is...
I feel like the logical conclusion to this podcast is forming your own nation. Is that on the cards?
That is actually
Yeah, it's
Is that a spoiler for corny Spatopia?
It's called Oyster. We've already decided this. Like,
We're all moving to
Awesome.
Transnistria.
yeah, the Soviet Union never ended, baby.
They have nice money. I have money from Transnistria.
You do have money from Transnistria,
I
which is
do
the
have
weirdest
money from
shit
Transnistria.
because
Yeah.
it is in a time capsule.
Yeah, and nobody fucking. You can't pay anything.
You don't know
with
where Transnistria is. That is fine.
Well, you know,
Because
I was,
it's an
Any-
insane place.
Okay,
It's fun.
I don't know what it is. I can't tell if it's a production or a nation.
it.
It is a country.
It
that
should
doesn't
be a
exist.
nation.
that's
It should-
offensive. Josie.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
it
it
is the only country that we actually recognize here in Corner Späti. So we're
Yeah.
the exact opposite of
We're probably also
anti-Deutsch.
the only people.
No,
Well,
no,
like
we're,
anti-Deutsch,
we're
but
very
it's-
like anti-Deutsch, which is all nation states shouldn't exist.
Except for
Israel.
Transnistria.
Yeah, exactly.
But we want it to then be the opposite. That then, like, we don't want borders to disappear. We want Transnistria just to grow.
Yes. It's kind of like the Soviet Union. But in a small, like, when you get nostalgic about it, that's Transnistria. You can take your bike, you can bike.
You know
through
when you're, like,
Transnistria
sitting there
and-
watching, like,
What alphabet is that?
they use the Cyrillic
That's
alphabet,
Cyrillic,
even though
yeah.
it's
You want to see its money? It's
Romanian.
Nice. They have money.
My
Yeah.
uncle was once part of the like 1970s London Free State of Fristonia.
Yeah,
which is a squat-
Fristonia
That's-
is
what?
squat
fucking...
that took up Freston Road. He lived there for about
you
8
guys
months.
know anything about anarchism? Okay. Fristonia is like this weird kind of portion of London became like an independent thing. It's like
West London, I think.
Yeah.
West London.
Yeah, not
The
even
sucky place.
Look, every part of London was working class at some point.
Oh, even West London.
Even West London. It's very like if anyone knows Christiana in
Yeah, of
in
course,
Denmark.
Denmark, yeah.
It's a very similar situation to that, except it was cracked down. And while Christiana exists as like this weird tourist destination thing
Yeah.
now, like Fristonia is now gone, except for like some magazines that still talk about
The difference
it.
is that
Yeah, I
Christiania
think that was,
developed
like,
a
recently
defense and an army, and that's why they're still there.
Yeah.
Just a reminder.
Christiania is actually in Kurdistan.
Oh, today I was on the train from Hermannplatz to here, and there
to
was a guy
Idlib.
who had a beautiful T-shirt with like from here.
She
to
took a midnight train.
to
Syria.
Christiana.
But and the guy had like Kurdistan and the flag and the like outline of Kurdistan and
So you were going to Idlib.
yeah. And it said Kurdistan underneath, so nobody could mistake that it's not about
He also
Kurdistan.
had a foam finger with him. That said Kurdistan, #1 country.
It's like,
I mean, yeah, it's public transport in Berlin. Come on.
well,
It is.
I was-
95% of it.
Even though he looked really angry, I already felt like I like this guy because
Yeah.
it was very
I
obvious.
mean, I'd be angry too if I had a shirt on of a country that then is not recognized by the rest of the world.
Seriously.
There is one guy on my street flying like a Rojava kind of flag, and I'm
Pimp.
like, I want to hang out with that lad. I
Yes.
don't know who he is though.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because,
We're friends.
yeah, you should be.
All right. So
like I said, I spent a lot of time on Wikipedia.
for fuck's
Yulia's
sake.
also going to Syria, so
This is my goodbye podcast.
yeah.
Oh no.
Maybe we should explain that I'm not going because Verfassungsschutz.
Yeah, Yulia's definitely not going to Syria.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
no,
Allegedly.
no. Allegedly.
I thought we were gonna just have like an audio montage of you getting ready to go to Syria.
Oh yeah, yes, please.
We are men.
It's a song from Mulan, except it's Yulia going.
But it's just like instead of Yulia, what is it in Mulan where she goes up the pole?
Yeah.
It's just Yulia,
Yeah.
have you guys seen that very niche YouTube topic
Oh, good.
of
Oh my god, I can't wait.
there's this Kurdish group that then sings songs.
I love that song.
They sing songs
Awesome.
and then it's always just like a montage of military parades. And
Yeah.
then it's like these dudes doing like somersaults and then they just do a somersault.
But it's
and
also
just,
girls hanging out
being
and
real tactical.
But the three people.
Yeah, the
that-
three people.
Yeah, that always have their faces suddenly appearing in when they show an act of fighting or dancing. Or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Suddenly there's a cheesy 80s montage
Yeah.
where you see the faces and they're singing and
Yeah.
it's awesome.
So it's the Mulan
Yeah.
song, but then with the visuals of Yulia doing somersaults with an AK-47.
I like
yeah.
the Spetsnaz videos you get on YouTube where you can watch one of them do a spinning black flip while throwing a knife directly at the head of this target.
That's me.
Being like, when the fuck does this come up in actual modern military?
Well, Yulia's been finding that out for herself now. That
Oh,
it's
cool, yeah.
very, very necessary in order to defeat Turkey.
Wait a second, guys. I heard that Rob reads a lot of Wikipedia.
It's not that funny, guys. It's
Is this going over to Rob and Peter Falconer?
well.
No, don't start him off on this. That's a whole
No,
other
all I
episode.
wanted to say was, because we were talking about race science, my second favorite topic, is that on Wikipedia, what's always just very funny to me is that any sort of, it's especially true for actresses, but mostly any famous person, and you go to their just family section, and especially Americans, they're they're a mix of Scottish, Irish, Ukrainian, Maltese, and whatever, and I'm like,
And 1%
I just imagine
Cherokee.
there's one person who just the race science Wikipedia expert who's
It-
going in
it-
and
it-
filling in
right.
all this information.
Because of this combo, they can do the double jump and also dash for 0.5 seconds longer than regular Ukrainians. What the fuck?
In America, you're allowed to equip more ethnicities than you are in Europe. And it is strange that it's particularly attractive actresses. They always want to make sure it's very.
It's strange,
detailed.
is it?
And it's just that to me represents the American.
Dream.
Really, in Europe, you can only be one, maybe two races. America, you just they keep coming. It's like in Candy Crush,
Yeah,
and
you can
it just
have
racks up.
everything.
You don't know when
The
it's going to
more,
stop.
the merrier.
I think there is still the weird thing that I've only really thought about kind of in the last few years about how there's I think naturalist literature and culture from the 19th century has had a weird effect of people associating where you're from with something crucial about your character, how
Yeah.
Thérèse Raquin is supposed to be so wild and unstable because of her African heritage,
At the
etc.
beginning of.
And a lot of romance novels, that too many of which I read before, at a young age, that are all written from before 1950, 1960. A lot of people say, Josie, you look French. Is it because
Because of your small
I knew
eyebrows.
is
that.
it because of your necklace of onions, the beret you wear,
Horizontal
you're
strike
like
Baguette under your arm.
rarely discussed bulimia, and then no, not really. But it's honestly a problem in France. Anyway, but look it up.
Fun fact.
S'il vous plaît. Anyway, and I think my family like were interested and looked into doing like 23andMe, and I was talking to my famously American boyfriend who is black. Reaction.
Cut her mic.
Well, what I wanted to say is your family wants to do 23andMe not to find out their heritage, just to give their data over to the FBI. Like we've always wanted to do this. Finally, there's a way that like we can just package our DNA.
Oh
for
God,
them.
I guess. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but in England, it's the MI5, bro.
They're I
still
think
giving
they
it
have
to
a
the
data
CIA.
sharing
Yeah.
going on.
But
they're in the
maybe.
same.
My aunt did a
Dropbox.
fucking
I wanna
23andMe and was
I
like
wanna-
way
I
too
wanna
happy
finish this
about
point.
it. Yeah.
Because basically, like, I forgot, I didn't realize is a blind spot for me as a white person who's read a lot of literature, soz, about how like deeply eugenicist the whole thing is. To be like, wow, I'm going to find out exactly how European I am, or exactly how this I am, or whatever, and then that's going to give me information about like stuff about me, probably. And
You
like,
can't
my,
eat fava beans.
Yeah,
great.
wow,
Oh, you
that's
belong to
why-
that race that can't digest grain.
That's why I'm so good at gluten. I remember like mentioning it to my boyfriend because of the fact that his like mum was adopted and his like granddad was adopted as well. So he has no idea. He just knows that he's roughly like a quarter white. But and I remember like the kind of person who is white in me. The person that's me was saying like, "Oh, would you never be
Are
interested
you like
in,
Venom? Like
I was just like, I can't even remember.
Oh no, white venom is just terrible. Where it's like Josie is going through her normal life, and then there's like Josie, complain to the manager. You deserve better than this.
Like that.
Also order a samosa.
Josie, you were also a slave. Josie.
You were the first slaves.
We are making this sketch after this. Listeners, do not steal this. Oh God, because there's already in a white girl sketch in SNL. We'll just do that. But reverse. But yeah, no. And I think I was being like, oh wow, you can find out how Eritrean you are, and maybe you'll learn a thing. And,
so then you have
then,
this you have this like a genetic disposition to fucking join ISIS. Then like what?
Yeah, I don't know. You literally, and then he was just saying like, actually, I've always found that whole 23andMe thing to be like deeply creepy.
Yeah, it's stupid.
And like
Yeah.
deeply like eugenicist, and like why do I need to know how
German
Finnish I am? You know, like that kind of
How
thing.
Finnish are you?
I've met your boyfriend. He's so fucking Finnish.
Oh my God,
He just looks at the Swede and he's like drug dealer.
he's Finnish like girls.
But like,
Actually,
But then like, what is it then
wait.
when you get like a very confusing one? All right.
I just want to have like that, like 1% chance that I'm not completely German.
get me out of this prison.
It's like, there's no way of interpreting it isn't somehow racist, because like art said that so my brother did it, and we're like 85%.
Finnish.
No.
And 25%.
56% British and Irish. And I
Oh,
remember,
that's
like,
disgusting.
My friend was like, "Oh my God, you're so exotic." Because
You're
boyfriend-
pure.
The first people of
No,
color,
because
the
she was
Irish.
like, no, she was like, my boyfriend's 85% British and Irish. So already I was like,
so you're not so
wow,
pure.
I feel rewarded from the fact that I'm only like 44%
Wait, now I wanna
English
know.
or British. And then stuff saying like you're 11.11% French and German. And then I was like, that's why I'm so good
Hey,
at eating cheese.
all of it's turkey,
Seriously,
baby.
Every time like people tell me like, oh, I thought you were like Italian or French or Russian or something. I'm very disappointed to tell them that I'm from here. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah,
where you're like,
I
oh,
like-
this is a value judgment.
it's probably the haircut.
How do you also
Sorry.
wait? Like, how do you have like an ethnic
It just means you
division?
look hot. Like,
Yeah. Oh, you're French. Oh, you're Greek. Oh, you're Russian.
no one says
it's
like, you look like you're from Glasgow.
After a while, it's just like, I still want to fuck you. This hasn't gone away. I guess it's fine.
Just do
But
that.
tell them you're
How
from
do you-
Bielefeld, then it goes away.
But how do you have like a breakdown of, because my aunt did 23andMe, and it's just really funny because it plays directly into Greece's turkey, because she got 100%, but it's just a big circle around Greece and Turkey.
Well, like
bonkers.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful circle.
the thing that I wanted to bring up about this, though, I think I brought it up before in the pod, is that like the Daily Stormer or the Daily Stormer reactor.
Sternmer.
Yeah, sorry, the Daily Stormer reaction to like 23andMe type tests.
They just all hid the results.
Kieran wasn't doing research. That's his homepage.
Yeah. But like they all did the 23andMe test to prove how like white they were. And it ended up that they were like guaranteedly always at like at least 1% African or something that like at least like 10% Untermenschen or whatever the fuck they say.
Jokes on them.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing.
Oh.
Then they start rationalizing it being like, see, we don't need black people if we're all 1% black
Oh my
people.
god!
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I
This shit does not work as like a thing.
I didn't
feeds
realize the
into-
Daily Stormer was that Nazi because I don't read it.
The name is...
It's gone now as well.
Yeah.
That is the
But it's
Nazi
dedicated-
mindset to like eradicate a people and then call yourself that people. It's like the Prussians.
Or like the Americans. I'm a quarter Cherokee.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you know what? 23andMe is that you can commit genocide and then also then simultaneously declare that you're also this thing.
Oh, well, okay, here's
But wait,
here's a
are they like actually like collecting maybe data and saying like, okay, like we gotta decide on a like serious note who we're going to kill off. Like if we're selling this data,
Okay.
for example,
The Eritreans, done.
it's like okay, how like you see how many like percent of some, and then oh wow, that's like scary.
But
That's,
this
like,
is the
super
thing I don't
scary.
understand is that how do you have then like an ethnic breakup of things that then like don't have ethnic breakups? Like it'll give you really specific things around modern nation states, doesn't it? So it's like you're 14% Serbian.
Well,
And it's
yeah,
like,
they,
not
like
always.
the whole like British and Irish thing, they'll lump together. It uses
No,
haplogroups.
weirdly, for my one, it said that like British and Irish, and then said like a significant, like mostly out of the proportion was Greater London, and that feels bonkers because an urban setting having a specific genetic makeup is not a thing.
Stupid. Yeah, it doesn't exist.
like because also I mean it's true that my
you're
like,
actually
grandparents
related. You're
and,
related
like,
to every single
great-grandparents-
roadman in London.
Yeah, well, yeah, like my grandparents and great grandparents were from Greater London, but like that's not a genetic group. It's
it
like
was
an
like a-
urban setting.
It was but it was like a Roman city. There was like people from fucking North
Yeah.
Africa.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
No
the thing
one's
that then is like
like,
so
"You're London."
stupid about all of it is that like there's no like you can't do a genetic breakup on the sense of like, oh, you're this, you know, your genome comes from a very small village in Bosnia. Like that's not.
How did you get my 23andMe
What?
results?
Yeah, wait. What is it with you, Serbia, Bosnia, and the Balkans?
Kieran-
I'm 100% Sarajevo.
Yeah, Kieran is
100%.
Bomb me, daddy.
Kieran is
born and raised in
50%.
Sarajevo.
Kieran is 50% Eritrean, 50% Bosnian. He's joining ISIS. There's no fucking
100% reason
option.
to join ISIS.
I am a Bosnian.
So I was thinking as like a joke, like
Oh, exciting!
what if like so because
What
I
if
like
Bosnia was a country?
to,
That'd be
'cause,
fucking
I have
wild.
to, I have to read a lot
Wow.
of bullshit. I have to read a lot of bullshit for this show and a lot of right wing nonsense. So then sometimes I'm like,
Oh,
what- how do they?
I'm
think-
sorry. I beat you. I beat you on this.
How do
today.
they like? What is their world like? And I'm trying to imagine like what their worldview is in like Turner Diaries future where they're like the Nazis win and everything. And I'm imagining what 23andMe would be like, and they're like, oh, I'm so exotic. I'm 70% Bavarian, but I'm like 15% Frisian and stuff. And then I'm like, but that's actually what it is now. There's not
Yeah.
a difference.
Yeah.
Like, so actually humor is a way of showing reality, guys. That's what I like.
Hey, baby, that's what's up.
Like the French and you know what I mean? The English and French difference. The differences, the invested differences come from politics and history, not from the fucking genome.
No, they were all fucking each other.
Also, like the
Greece and
Eurocentrism
Turkey?
of it, where it's like, oh my god, what? I'm a different. Yeah, what you said, that different kind of white person, but being like that. I realized recently that like a lot of. When I found out what Eurocentrism was, I felt very guilty for the whole of my life.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
I felt very complicated and special from knowing for the fact that instead of taking French and Spanish or Italian, I took French and German at university.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, I was the
Ooh.
Yeah, wow. I was
so
I was a
cultured.
particularly sophisticated and exotic person at the University of Cambridge, England.
Just flexing on us. Ooh.
Look at me, I have debt.
And on that fantastic note, this has been another Corner Späti.
I was here.
Check out the theme song. It's New Dawn by the band Melty Brains. It's a bop. You can find it on Spotify.
I thought the theme song was Corner Späti. Da, da, da.
That is weirdly how my jazzish, punkish band friends that I used to live with in a murder mansion, that's how the song goes. And
Kieran's cool. He lived in a murder mansion with his punk rock band.
yeah, I did. I would come home from work and there would just be a bluegrass band playing while I was trying to cook chorizo pasta.
I don't believe you cooked chorizo
I don't believe
pasta.
that there's bluegrass in
Ireland.
In Ireland.
Bluegrass is just Irish trad, but more racist.
Skra.
Anyway, thanks for listening to this episode. Everyone's left because it's Pride weekend in Berlin, and I think Rob's going to get fucking buck wild right now.
Yeah,
Yulia wants to say bye.
Yeah, here.
We're letting Yulia say bye.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Yulia.
That's the wrong word.
Ow! I've lost my voice on this
You were
pod
talking
live.
about Pride Week.
It's
and-
Pride weekend.
Yeah.
Next time, hopefully, we'll do something more relevant. I hope you enjoyed this
Yo, next
real
weekend-
fucking casual
Next
episode.
weekend's gonna be so fucking gay here, bro.
No, actually, if we, yeah.
You
Yeah.
are going to do... Yeah, you said you were going to do...
Yeah, I wanted to talk about Eastern Europe and
Yeah,
LGBT.
Shh, you can't
Spoilers,
give
spoilers.
up your little spoiling
I'm not
shit.
talking about
It's a
that.
teaser,
We're
it's a
never
teaser.
talking about that. Never.
All right. Ciao, ciao, motherfuckers.
Ciao.
Bye.
I've been Josie Parkinson. Please follow me on Twitter. It's at Josie Parkinson, and also come to my show. It's called Source. It's Mondays from 26th of August.
I love sauce.
All the time. Yulia loves it. She's never been, but she endorses it, just
Yeah.
like she endorses Casper mattresses.
There'll be links in the description. Folks, are you tired of going to the links office?
Yulia also endorses. Never mind. I'm done.
What?
I can't. No,
What?
I was gonna say that you endorse.
We need to end the pod.
We do. We're at 2 hours right
wanna
now.
Fucking
what
hell.
End the pod.
Okay.
Death cult.
Death
cult. Death cult. Death cult.
Do you hate having Kurdistan belong to Turkey? Mark Maron here. That Kurdistan is actually an independent nation.
Ah!
Hell yeah.
Hey, it's big time Tommy.
Okay, we're done.
We're done.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Ciao.